Hey. All right. Commoner League is starting. I'm in a Commoner League this. I don't know how many weeks it is. Actually, I assume it's like 6 weeks. I think that's what it was last time. And last time I was in it, it was pretty straightforward. Show up with 3 decks. Opponent bans 1 deck, and then it may have been best of 3 from there. Now you show up with 2 decks that you pre-register, and you have best of 3 matches until you win with both decks. First person to win with both decks wins the entire match. So I got to get used to that format, and I went ahead and pre-registered some decks that I like playing already. So Icelander I registered for this week, which I have a couple of different builds. I liked playing that deck last time. Unsurprisingly, it's very good because Aether Icebane exists. And then Dorinthia is one that got banned a lot last time, so I wanted to play it because I think it's good. I thought it was good. I played a little bit last night. Played against a lot of Riptides, played against an Oldhim. So I went 1-2 last night. I beat 1 Riptide. And then lost 2 other matches. And was kind of seeing where the deck is not really doing what I was kind of hoping it would. So there's a couple different ways to build it. You can have Dorinthia playing Dawnblade, which I have here. And then you can have Dorinthia playing Sabers or Axes. I've got a Sabers build. I think this is the Sabers build last time. I don't know if I messed around with it or not. But I'm going to take a look at the Dawnblade build real quick and talk about it. So for the Dawnblade build, this is an unfinished one. Okay, so I was kind of in the middle of building this last night. And it seems inconclusive where I landed on it. A couple of the things that I like about this. This is a go tall situation, and we have Puncture now. It's kind of one of the newer cards. When did it come out? Dynasty, I think. Yeah, this is a newer card. So we have target sword or dagger attack gains +1 and piercing 1. Equipment's pretty darn important in Commoner, in my opinion. So I feel like this would be good. This is it's a blue, it pumps for 1. I mean, first of all, it blocks 3, which is, that's what you want in any card. Gives +1 if they try to block, or if they block with armor and then I play this, it's actually getting +2. So, sneaky blue +2 for 1. I think I'm going to put the red ones in here. I don't know why I took them out. It doesn't really make sense to me right now. So I'm going to wrap those back in. Because this is just +3. Sometimes it's a +4 for 1. Get right over that armor. Let's take a look at the rest of the deck here. So we got Hit and Run. This is our main way of getting Go Again. There's another card called Driving Blade that just gives your weapon Go Again, but it costs 2. So you pitch a blue, you play Driving Blade, you swing your weapon. It's 2 cards from hand, 6 attack Go Again. Then you still need a resource to swing your weapon. If it, let's assume it hits, you still need a resource to swing your weapon again. So it's 3 cards for 9 damage. We're looking at the red. that's not really where I want to be, and I think that seems to be kind of indicative of what Dawnblade Dori is doing in Commoner. You swing for 3, you pump it for 3, somehow, either on the front or on the back end, and you can pitch a blue. So if 2 cards are coming in for 6, 3 cards are coming in for 9, and I guess 4 cards you can come in for 12. On hit effects, pretty irrelevant. So I'm not particularly enjoying this kind of stat line. So why don't we go back to... Oh, I'm sorry. Go back to the Sabers list. I could talk a little bit about how this works a little better. I'm using Sabers. I think you could just use Axes. It's kind of whichever one you like, but I'm using Sabers because I could put Puncture in here. And I can run Outland Skirmish, which is just basically the same thing as running more Sharpened Steels. So I'm basically, you know, I'm getting more redundancies, which I think is pretty good. I think if I have a pretty specific game plan, I can just go in, do my game plan, not worry about getting bad hands. But what you're going to want to do here, let's say you have a 2-card hand. I'll say it's a blue and it's a Blade Runner. You pitch the blue, you swing the Centauri Saber for 2, play the Blade Runner, it gets go again. You swing the other Centauri Saber for 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you're at 2 cards swinging for 7. So there's 1 point advantage over the 2 cards swing for 6. Then the Sabers get interesting because when you do defend with an attack action card, the Sabers get +1. So sometimes you're getting 7, sometimes you're getting 8, sometimes you're getting 9 points, depending on how your opponent is blocking. 2 cards between 7 and 9 damage, pretty darn good. And then if we go down to just the blue here, it's a +1. So 2 cards for 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 to 7 damage for 2 cards. And that's at blue. It's just pretty decent. I think it's just the math works out a little bit better. And Blade Runner is an incredible card, and it pairs even better with the hit and run. So with the Dawnblade, you can play hit and run. You're not actually getting that second paragraph of text here. So yeah, your next weapon attack this turn gains go again. That's very cool. That's perfect for Dawnblade. That's what it wants. And then you've got, if you've attacked with a weapon this turn, your next attack gains +1. Well, what I like to see with this is you swing the saber, pitch a blue, you swing the saber, you hit it with this. So your first one comes in for 2. You play the hit and run, which is +3. Red Blade Runner is +3, and then you swing another saber for 2. So now you got 8. So that's a 3 card for 8. Is that right? No, that can't be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's right. So it's 3 cards for 8. Could be 9, could be 10. So if your opponent starts blocking, the 3 card for 8 is worse than the Dawnblade 3 card for 9. So now it's kind of, we can see the inverse of kind of what I'm looking at here. Now if I used hatchets instead, hatchets of body, hatchets of mind, it is 3 cards for 9, because the second hatchet will have +1 from its text box. But I don't get to play puncture in hatchets. I also get to play the push forward. I think it's much better in sabers. You play this after a Blade Runner. Now you're coming in for 8 dominate. that closes a game out. I think that's a really good card. The problem that you have here is that you need 4 resources to do that play. And in the late game, getting 4 resources is hard. So there's this Blossom of Spring. So you can kind of hold the Blossom of Spring here, do the combo. So you can Blade Runner into, or you can Saber, Blade Runner, push forward, break Blossom, Saber again. All that while pitching a blue. So you can come in for 8 with Dominate. Well, 2 followed by 6 with Dominate, I should say. No, it is 2 and 8. Wait a second. Am I doing this math right? The whole time I think I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, I think I'm doing this wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is a 3 card for 10. Okay. Forget the last 5 minutes of this show. 3 card for 10 is better than 3 card for 9. The math checks out. And then you can have a 3 card for 10 and 8 of it is dominated. That's incredible. So that's kind of where I want to go with that. I've got some Fate Force Scenes and some Sink Belows here. I thought, let's be defensive. I want to be blocking with 2 cards most of the time, and then presenting 6 to 7 damage off of 2 card hands. And ideally, I'm doing that with weapon swinging, so I'm not susceptible to too much fatigue. And then after a couple of games last night, well, I played a couple of Riptides last night, and both of them had very, very well-timed... Oh, what's the card? There's the Ranger card that doesn't let you block with D-Reacts from hand. And then there's another Ranger card, Widowmaker, that just says no D-Reacts can be played to the chain link. So there were turns where I just couldn't block with these and was playing fast, didn't read well enough, made some bad plays, basically. One of them, it did cost me the game on the Widowmaker. But let's see, is there something I would change about this? I guess with the defensive stuff, it might be right to run 2 Sink Belows and then either Oasis or Peace of Mind in the Fate Force Scene slot. Got my Null Rune. Let me see what else. Yeah, this is just kind of, I think this is where I want to be. Of course, there's 18. Got 18 blues. I think that's where I need to be. And 18 reds, 4 yellows. But I want to change out these Fate Force Scenes here. And I think we could find some generic prevent effects. Seeker's Equipment is interesting. I actually like the Quell equipment. I don't see on here. I guess Quell doesn't say prevent. Let me see. It says prevent. Yeah, pay 1 to prevent 1. So you come up against an Ira, you come up against, any ninja. Quelling Robe. This is great against daggers and breakpoints. The problem is, there's 3 pieces of quelling equipment. Slippers, which would replace my bolters, which is one of my best pieces of equipment. The sleeves, they replace the Gallantry Gold. That's probably worth it. And then the robe, which replaces the Blossom of Spring. I don't think I would want that. So I might just add some sleeves here to the sideboard. And then let's go back to these prevent effects. Peace of Mind giving me a ponder is actually particularly good. And I'm going to have a lot of blues. So I could prevent 4, create a ponder token. If I do that, it could be worth, instead of running this Iron Rod Helm, it could be worth running, what's the Iron Hide Helm instead. So I'm going to get rid of these Fate for Scenes. I'm going to add the Peace of Mind, get rid of the Iron Rot, and add the Iron Hide. Try that out. Little more defensive, different types of defense. And then we'll see if I have too many blues, see if I'm not reacting enough. But I think the game plan is generally 2 cards for 7, 3 cards for 10, and I suppose a 4 card. Is a 4 card play possible? What do we got? Let's take a look at the 4 card play. Let's assume we do Blade Runner for +3, Out for Blood for +3, Puncture for +3, and then a blue. So I would still need to pop the Blossom at the start of the turn, swing the Saber, Blade Runner pitching a blue, so we've got 2 damage. Next attack has +3. Swing the second Saber. That's going to take up 1 more resource. Okay, so you would have to have a 5 card hand. Couldn't do it with the Blossom of Spring. So let's imagine Out for Blood is in the arsenal. I've got 2 blues in hand. And then I have Blade Runner, Puncture in hand. Swing a Saber for 2, hit the Blade Runner. Swing the second Saber for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 13 damage off of a 5 card hand. And then it seems like I'd be floating a resource, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off of 2 blues. So you Gallantry Gold that, and you've got 15 damage turn. So there's another combo for you. 15 damage turn, pretty darn good. 2 blues, 2 reds, and a red in arsenal. Yeah. So that right there proves why Gallantry Gold is so good. Do you really want to waste a slot on the Quelling Sleeves? Probably not. We'll find out. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and see if I can play some games here. Commoner, public, and create a game. And Talishar updated their website recently. I'm going to see what the resolution is like. I might want to embiggen it. Let's see. But now it's just a waiting game. I'll say last time I was in this league, which was maybe November last year, or October, somewhere around there. Finding a commoner game on Talishar was not particularly great, but last night, I did have 4 matches. Did I have 4 or 5? Let's see. I think I had 4 matches last night in the span of an hour or something, or 2 hours maybe. 2 Riptides, an Oldham, and an Ira. I think that's all I played last night. So commoner games are getting easier to find on Talishar. It's pretty great. I'd also like to point out that it says this deck costs $10. Yeah, that's just a good thing. If you're playing CC, your decks can... It's easy to fall into $500 or something, usually over equipment. That's up to you whether you want to do that. But for commoner, $10 is kind of on the high end. If you met me in person and you wanted to play commoner, I've got a lot of bulk, and I would probably just give you a deck. So anywhere between $0 and $10 for all of this, sweet flesh and blood deck building. So we had discussed Sabers on paper. The math works out 1 point of value higher than the Dawnblade for each card in your hand. Dawnblade, you get 6 points of value for a 2-card hand. Sabers, you get 7 for a 2-card hand, as long as that 2-card hand is Blade Runner. Which means you've got 6 chances to kind of set up the turn. Presumably, you draw them all in 6 different turns. You don't draw them all in the same turn. Could happen. Hit and run, the math doesn't really check out on the hit and run. But if we look at hit and run in Dawnblade, you play 0 cost, give your next weapon go again. You swing Dawnblade for 3. It does not hit, and then your turn is over. And so you've had a 2 card for 3. In this instance, it's still going to carry 1 more point of value. You play hit and run, swing Centauri Saber for 2, swing Centauri Saber for 2. 4 points of value, 1 point over the Dawnblade for 3. And then if you had axes, that's where you would get 5 points of damage. So it's possible that it is worth it to not run Puncture and run axes instead. I'm going to find that out maybe tonight. That's kind of the whole point of playtesting. I've got Peace of Mind. Yeah, I think Peace of Mind's the right call. Ponder token. Yeah, I think the Ponder token's super valuable. If I can use that, plus it'll work with the Ironhide Helm at least once, and that'll block 6. Pitching a blue, block 6. Effectively using 2 cards out of my hand, coming back for 7. Yeah, should be good. Weakest part about Dorinthia at this point in time is Outsiders has released crazy good on hit effects. The disease tokens, Blood Rot, Pox, Frailty, Inertia, they're all pretty meaningful in these games. And something like this, Frailty, my Sabers all of a sudden swing for 1 and 1. Not really where you want to be. Blood Rot, I'm on the fence about whether or not paying for Blood Rot is the right thing to do. Surely it just depends on your hand. If you have a blue, really if you just have a handful of blues, you might even be able to block and prevent the Blood Rot token from being created, but let's say they leak in a damage or something, you have a Blood Rot now, 2 blues in hand. Is it really worth it to take 2 damage to swing back for, 3 to 5 damage? I think it just depends on what the hand's looking like, how close you are to dying, but it's a tricky one, but It's probably just one of the best tokens, Blood Rot token. And then you've got inertia tokens, which particularly good against me. If I can have something in Arsenal, then that is a threat to my opponent. It keeps them guessing. I'm a big fan of that. And realizing I might want to put headphones on, I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Well, I was just talking about how easy it was to find games on here. And here we go. Not finding games. There's another part of Talishar that is a downside for me, is that I excuse me. I tend to play very fast on Talishar, which means I tend to make a lot of mistakes on Talishar, and it's just not cutting it. So I guess while we wait for that, why don't we check out this exact same build, except we use axes instead, and then instead of puncture and skirmish, find something else. What would I replace puncture with? I just type the word axe. It's not going to be felling swing, I'll tell you that right now. 3 cost for +6 it's very cool. Oh, it's very cool, but it's a 3-card hand to swing for 8. That is not very cool. So let's take a look at the warrior cards here. Got Biting Blade, target weapon. It costs 2. Biting Blade has some good value. It just drives me crazy that these cards cost 2. That costs 1. You don't want that. In the swing, I know that the plan is to swing twice, and it's easier said than done. But it's possible this would go in the Axis build. Nature's Path probably just goes into the Axis build. You have 2 mid-size attacks. Attack for 6, and then attack for 5, then attack for 6. So you're attacking for 11 off of a 3, off of 4 resources, which would need to be 3 cards, and a resource off of Blossom of Spring. Second swing. Yeah, this is kind of the same vibe. You just need so many resources. I mean, these I guess are for your hit and run turns. You just play hit and run, swing, swing, swing. So hit and run, a blue, and second swing can give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 cards for 9. Not super interested in that. Sharpened Steel. That might be just the best one because it's just damage and it costs nothing. This card is like, it's not doing what I would hope it would do. Let's see if I have an opponent real quick. I do not have an opponent. This is one of those cards that conditional +3, but your opponent knows. So it's effectively +0 for a card. Your opponent's not going to throw armor in front of this. They're just gonna see it and say, okay, I'll take 2, and they're not gonna say, okay, I'll block for 2 and then take 3 on accident. What are the yellows? Okay, so I think of the cards that I saw for the Axes build, I think Sharpened Steel would come in. And let's see, if I'm going to keep the same ratios, I think that and then 2 blues have to come out. So red Sharpened Steel would replace red Puncture. Right, so we could try In the Swing. Yeah, these are just I mean, I could run 4 copies of In the Swing and just block with all of them. Sounds bad. There's also, you can run attack actions. There's some sort of, cute interactions with Rifting. You play Rifting. Let's assume it hits. No one's ever going to let it hit, but let's assume it hits. And then you get to play Sharpened Steel at instant speed, gain an action point, swing a weapon. I don't really know what that's doing. So I'd probably go with Nature's Path blue, and do I want In the Swing blue or In the Swing red? Probably red. Just kind of mess with the ratios a little bit. 20 reds, 16 blues. It might work. Puncture's really cool, man. Well, it's not looking too good for this commoner stuff here. Maybe I need to phone a friend. Yeah, I guess the math is just better on the axes, right? So red Puncture. Becomes red Sharpened Steel. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's like a way to copy this. No, not really. Create a new version. Yeah, how do you create a copy? Maybe it's in here. Make a personal copy of this deck. Here we go. Just check on this. No opponents yet. Okay. Make a personal copy. Now we're talking. So let's put some axes in here. and then get rid of puncture, get rid of skirmish. Wait, skirmish says one-handed. I'm keeping skirmish. Well, shoot. Get rid of puncture then. Okay. So I've been kind of overthinking that the whole time. Let's go to the red cards. And I think sharpened steel. I think it's worth trying in the swing. So this might just be the deck. We got a live one, and it's Darth Prentice, whose name I recognize. We're both playing Dori. Yeah, I'll submit this. So this is the Sabres version. And we'll try Axe's version after this, I guess. Well, I get to go first, huh? Alright. I think I just want an Arsenal. I think I want hit and run on the Arsenal. So I'm going to swing the Saber. 2. They're going to block. I'm not going to buff it. No reaction. No. And then I will put that in there. Yes, now I've got Blade Runner and hit and run. Looking good. So in their case, I'm probably just going to block with a blue and block with a sink below. I can Saber, Blade Runner, hit and run, Saber. That costs 3. It'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I do that. So they're going to swing for 3. I mean, they don't have on hit effects really. That just already has go again. So yeah, we'll just block with the foresight. I'll let them pump whatever they want, really. But they're running 1 Saber, 1 Hatchet. Why? What's the difference? What is that? What? I'm confused. Because that's always going to be for 2. And then this is always going to be... Oh, maybe it's just to run puncture. Just run 1 and 1, but you're not getting any benefit from Hatchet. So confused. I'll just take 2 if that's all they want to do. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Seems good. We hit it up the old Blade Runner. No reactions after that. No. Do not destroy that. Let's play the old hit and run here. So now this also just has go again. And they are not going to do anything. So now I've hit for 8. I'm going to go for the 10 because they're just letting me. I don't care that I don't have an arsenal at this point. Sink below will be great at the end of the game. But I just got 2 of their equipment pieces. Threaten 10 damage. Okay. They got a big hand. They took a bunch of damage. They're coming in with a hit and run. So this is just going to have go again. They pitched a push forward blue. For 2, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I don't think I want to use this. I could arsenal that. I feel like pitching that, playing that, that's all fine. I'm just going to take 2, I think. Second swing, now we're talking. What is happening? Oh, your next attack gets +4. +4. 14. That's awesome. Oh, I gotta tell them that. So I'm willing to block. What does this say? It's a crackhead list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take 6. Okay. Yeah, why don't we just do this? Go ahead and block the 3. Let's do that. And then, man, they're getting all my armor already. Well, theirs is gone now, though. Then I want to pass. I do want that. And I do want... Do I want the puncture? Let's do both, because I'm getting a ponder token. 1. So I'm blocking 7 plus 4. I'm blocking 11. I'm taking 3. Then I get a ponder. So yeah, I'll do nothing. Sounds good. Okay. So I was talking about attack actions earlier. Barraging Braunhide is a powerhouse in this format. It's a 3 for 7. That's sometimes a 3 for 8. How can that be bad? It's just good. 3 resources, 7 damage. 2 card hand. Sometimes 8. But I'd rather be doing that with my weapons. Alright, they played a hit and run. They're swinging with the saber. Well, what does my hand look like? I've got a hit and run. I don't think I have a great hand, but probably just block with my hit and runs, or with one of them. Yeah, just block with 1. See what they got. No reaction on my end. And then they're okay. They're coming in with another Braunhide. So I think I want to keep 2 non-equipment cards. Let's block that. And then, no, I think I just block that. Yeah. So I'll block 6, take 1. That sounds fine. And then I'm just going to swing a saber here. I should be gaining tempo after this because they are not doing too much to me. So maybe they just take 2 here. I'm not going to use Blossom of Spring for this. Or the bolters. Waiting on some of those good cards, good curds. They're just covered up, that's fine. Okay, so I've got a blue and I got a Blade Runner and a red puncture. Oof. Okay, so it might be worth running. Might just take 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4. Yeah, I need 4 resources. And I have them. And I am going to swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I will pass. No reactions. Okay. Swing the saber. Pitch that. They're going to block 3. I don't think that's the one you want to block, usually. Right. So let that resolve. Do not react yet, because I'm going to break the Blossom. Yeah, I just have to break it now, so they're going to know, which is a bummer. So that is going to be coming in for 8. Don't have an unmovable, please. So we've got 11. So that was a 13 damage off of a 4-card hand plus the Blossom. I don't have any more resources. No thanks. Got you down to 3. And I don't think I... Oh wait, I have an action point. Yeah, I do, don't I? I don't have any resources. So I pass. Sink Below is super clutch here. So I probably keep Hit and Run and one of the other blues. Play Hit and Run, Saber, Puncture, Saber, I think. So probably be able to block for 7 here. They have 3 cards. I think that should be good enough. Blocking for 7. So cut down a size. I want to block that. Do I take 3 here and then make it a Gallantry Gold turn? Come in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I don't think so. I think I just block with the sink. We come in for 2, that's fine. So play the Hit and Run. Sharpen Steel. see what they want to do here. It's 2 cards, it's 5. I took 2 damage last turn. I think I blocked pretty well. You might hear background noise, I'm sorry about that. Let's see if I can fix that. That kind of works. Just like on the fly, trying to work this. Man, I'm not trying to... Alright, doing my best here. So... Okay, they're double blocking. I don't react. I swing the other saber. This is where it gets tricky. Oh man, GG. Sweet. All right, so we got it. It went very much like I planned. Make bigger numbers than my opponent. Now my opponent had big numbers. I've never seen 14 damage barraging Brawnhide before, but they had, man, the fact that they were able to Brawnhide into Brawnhide, I think they flock after that and then cut down the size off the Quicken token. They're doing some pretty cool stuff, but I think I think the weapons are just super reliable, but I suppose, you know, if I'm talking about a 2-card 7 damage turn, it'll be a 2 and a 5. If you're just coming in with barraging Brawnhide instead of, you know, I've only got 2 red Blade Runners in here, so adding 2 red barraging Brawnhides is kind of like it's evening out how many 2-card 7 damage turns I can have. So definitely something to consider. However, those cards block for 2. Not really where I want to be. Now we got the Axes version. I'm going to try it out. Copy deck link to clipboard, yes. And we just play this now. Oh no! Why is that? Leave. What happened here? Did I not do that right? Create game. Okay, that worked that time. So, something else to add to the new on-hit effects from Outsiders. The benefit that those heroes have is being able to stack on-hit effects. So Dori has nothing There's none of there's just no on hit effect. It's on hit ideal damage to you. If you look at Uzuri, she can threaten you with a 0 for 3 stealth that gives you a blood rot, and then she can spike it and give you either another blood rot or an inertia or a frailty. So there's sort of that aspect there of, you know, where she's able to come in for 6 power off of 1 resource with 2 on hit effects. Now it's a 3-card hand, granted, unless you're just playing off of what's it called, Blossom of Spring. But there's this, you could even play it off of Threadbare Tunic. So you could play Tunic, spike in Arsenal, stealth card from hand. So you get a 2-card hand, 2 on hits. So Blood Rot counts for 2 damage. Frailty against me would count for 2 damage that I'm not able to do. So that's 4 points of value. And then you've got the 6 points of damage coming in. So we're kind of looking at 10 points of value here, which is incredible. And Dori just kind of can't keep up with that. But I'm kind of excited to see how the Hatchets build changes things. Because really it just means I'm not using Puncture anymore, which means... Wait, did I add? Yeah, I added In the Swing. So instead of Puncture, I've got In the Swing. It is definitely going to save me some resources, so I can now do with a blue I can pay for Hatchet, and Blade Runner. So off of 3 cards, if I'm including In the Swing, we'll Hatchet for 2, Blade Runner for +3, so we're at 5. Second Hatchet for 3, so we're at 8. And In the Swing for 3, so we're at 11. And that is only 3 resources. So 3-card 11. This seems to be the highest value so far. So it was a 3-card 10 in the last deck. It's a 3-card 9 with Dawnblade. The numbers are just working out. You would think that as a Dori player you would want Dawnblade, and I think if you're playing Constructed or Blitz, that is 100% true, because a lot of the things she has access to at rare and above are going to create on-hit effects and maximize her value. Get those counters on the Dawnblade and really pump up how high those numbers can go. But I think it is a struggle to get Dawnblade counters in Commoner. You could probably get 1 per game, maybe 2. I mean, I guess if your opponent just doesn't block, then maybe you could get 4 or 5, but that's never going to happen more often than not. So having something like, I think it's Warrior's Valor at rare. Is that what it's called? I'm going to look it up. Look it up. Why don't we just search cards here for a sec. Warrior's Valor? Yeah? Yeah. This is at rare, I believe. Yeah. This card right here. So if it hits, it gets go again. So now you've got your opponent guessing, do I block 6? Do they have an attack reaction? What's going to happen here? So this is kind of my... I'm eager for a format that is commons and rares exclusively. So you can have a little more flavor in your heroes. The Warrior's Valor. on the die roll against Arachne. We'll just go second. I am confident in my ability to block. Do I want the quelling sleeves? I'm going to ignore the quelling sleeves right now. I'm just going to play a regular game with my standard armor. Deep blue. What do you need resources for? Okay, that's fine. Sink below if a dagger hits. Toxic tips, super good. That's an action. Snapdragons, okay. Let's see how this goes. But yeah, I'm eager to see a commons and rares exclusively. I know Clash exists, but that's got Majestics in it, and I don't necessarily think that's the way to go. I think I get rid of the out for blood here. Because they're going to have a stealth card that has go again, surely. I probably could have let that hit, right? I don't mind blocking with bolters like immediately. Because most of the time I'm ready to crack them. But I do have Blade Runner and Hit and Run in hand. So this is kind of hand. I'm being kind of greedy with what's in my hand. I'll probably block the Isolate here with a in the swing. Keep the Hit and Run. Keep the Blade Runner. No reactions. It may have been just correct to inertia. It may have been correct to take the 1 point of damage and turn off their second Scar for Scar. Okay, they've got a Razor Reflex. Okay. Seems weird. They don't have a way to pay for it. So now I just know that they have that card. Okay. Sure. This is a weird hand. This is a really weird hand. But basically I'm going to Blade Runner, and then I'm going to Hit and Run, and then I'm going to swing the Hatchet of Mind, and then swing the Hatchet of Body, since I have... Oh, I don't have the inertia anymore, but I'm going to do all that anyway. Yeah, sure. No more reactions. I don't want to destroy the boots. Okay, they might have an instant. It seems. Do they have anything? So I do want to play that first. So they have an instant in their hand. Let's go with the Hatchet of Mind. Just 7. So that was 3 cards for 9, right? No, 4 cards. No, 3 cards for 9. Yeah, that's pretty much good. They're blocking now. And I have go again. And no reaction. Take 4. Don't want to do that. No thanks. Just swing for another 3. 4 cards for 12. Is that right? Just block with another card. Oh, just take it. That's also fine. Hoping to get a card out of their hand. No. Okay. So I could block with 2 cards, maybe a push forward and an out for blood. Swing the hatchet, maybe just block. Or just swing the hatchet for 2, maybe just put the Iron Song response in the arsenal. It'll leave it there for the whole game. But I got 9 damage through. Pretty cool. Spider's Bite. Well, this is good because I don't have any attack actions. So I am going to just... Oh yeah, it's got piercing. That's right. You don't want to do that. My bad, my bad. Yeah, I'll take 1. Best I can do with this hand. Pitch push forward to hatchet. If it hits, give it go again. Swing the second hatchet. Oh, okay. We have 4 resources here. They pitched a blue infect. Yeah, sure. Don't have any attack actions. So no reactions here. No on hit. Okay. There we go. It's like no on hit effects. Okay, and we all know what's in their arsenal. Let's pretend like I don't know what's in their arsenal. There we go. They got that. Something's gonna happen to me. They'll probably give me a blood rot. And even, man, yeah, the spikes, spike with blood rot, I guess that is a rare. I know I was talking about Zuri using that earlier, but not in this format. I'm telling you, common and rare format. That's all I want. I'm gonna start it. No Majestics, no Mentors. I don't have a problem with Clash, but I just want straightforward commons and rares. I think there's so much flavor in those alone, and I think Majestics are just a little more power than what I'm looking for in a format like that. Okay, so swing. I did get a blood rot. Okay. I'm just gonna pay for the blood rot. Alright. Or I can do... Yeah, I'm going to. I'm swing for 5 here. And let the bolters break. Yeah. Swing for 5. Or for 3 more, I mean. So I just want to hit you now. I don't think I do. I'm going to pass. I did get a card out of your hand. That's good enough for me. Iron Song Response is going to kill you later. Would like to pay 3. Would like to add that to Arsenal. Ooh, the hand is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have 5 resources, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can either take everything, or I can block with Stroke of Foresight and then use Blossom of Spring this turn. Interesting that they're doing this like Spider's Bite strategy. But it's just going to leak damage, so why not? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 dominate, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's fine. I will take 2. I'm not going to break the Blossom. I'm just going to pitch the Stroke. Another Spider's Bite. Do you have money for it? You don't have the money for it in the turn. Ooh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. I break that. I think they just die on this turn. I activate that. I do that. I pitch a blue. This is 3 damage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. This is a 15 damage turn. Okay, they're going to do that. Okay, please don't. Please don't keep doing that. Well, I mean, there's an undo block button, so pressing undo is not good, or it's just not a good habit to have, because if I play a reaction and then they hit undo, it's, why am I playing? Yeah. Okay, play the Blade Runner. Yes. No instance. No reactions. Just want the action point. Pay 1 to push forward. Red. Hope they have damage prevention. Pitch that. Coming in for 10. Dominate. They have to block, or else they die. And then I just Iron Song response. So, what do they got? What do they got? Taking 10? Choose no reactions. Oof, GG. Well, there you have it. Yes, so it looks like highlights of the Dori deck are using the axes for value. That's the highest number of damage you can do is using axes. Finding those hands specifically where you can spend 4 to 5 resources with a 4 or 5 card hand and push for 15 damage, that ends games. It doesn't always have to look like that specifically, but I love that the push forward dominate came in. I love that the red Iron Song response came in. I think there are versions of this game, though, against Arachne where on-hit effects get the better of me and I do some inefficient blocking. I think there could be probably some more disruption on their end, but yeah, I thought that was great. So sweet. Well, that felt pretty good. I'm probably gonna call it a night here because it is late. It took us like an hour and 20 minutes to get 2 games through. But yeah, see you later.